So this gentleman wants
came
to
down
say
here around
something.
about 2 o'clock. What we had was one row of agitators, paid agitators, and then one row of concerned Chesterfield citizens. Now, us Chesterfield citizens, we've not been shouting no abuse from the off. We've been keeping it civil. Now, the ones that are shouting the abuse are the agitators. Now, the police don't seem to be facing them. They don't seem to be telling them off. They seem to be all facing us. It's like they're agitating us to kick off with the agitators. So then they can say in the police reports tomorrow that they arrested 25 far right thugs and we're all racist and all that. But no, if you just pan round there, them paid agitators, these are the ones that have been doing all the abuse, giving out all the bad language, and then all us here and all us down here, we're all residents of Chesterfield, all worried. So all on that side there, they're all the paid agitators. They've come over on buses from Luton, London. They've all been paid. I've heard some numbers £50 to come down. Some of them have been paid £150. I've not recognised one of their faces, and they're the ones that have made it kick off.
They're at the back.
So all on this side here. So from this corner here, they've got Palestine flags. They've got anti-fascist action flags, and yet they're not getting no abuse from the coppers. It's all us concerned citizens of Chesterfield that are getting backlash, and we're getting threatened off the police. Now, if you just pan down there, the police have let an handful in and let it kick off, and then they've gone and arrested them all. So then tomorrow they can report on how many far-right thugs there were at the Sandpiper Hotel, but they're not far-right thugs at all. They're just concerned parents. So in March, beginning of this year, 2 young girls in the woods at the back of this hotel got set upon by a group of immigrants, and they both went home with man fat on them. I don't need to say what man fat is, right?
That's great.
I started this in March, and within 2 days, I had death threats, and I got a call off of liaison officer of Derbyshire, PC David Bull, saying he needs to get his riot gear ready. Now, I told him it was going to be a peaceful protest, so I squashed this. This is somebody else's protest, but it's been advertised as a family event, silent, peaceful. We've all been silent, peaceful. I mean, you can see people have brought the families. Now, the page agitators are the ones that have made everything kick off. So it's just what we saw in Epping, just what we saw in other
It's
protests.
happened at Manvers this as well, exactly the same tactics. So police are involved in it, from what I see.
Yeah,
Not the normal officers, but commander are involved.
Commander, yeah. So there's a little officer. I don't know his name. We've all been calling him Harry Potter. He seems to be all for the agitators, and he doesn't seem to be listening to us lot. So I've pointed out in the crowd of the agitators a number of people that are believed to be taking drugs, and I said you need to go make a couple of soft arrests, and they said they're not bothered. Now I've said anyone carrying drugs is more than likely to be carrying weapons. Now they've said no, that's nonsense, and they've totally ignored us. Now this person we pointed out to, who apparently was taking drugs, he's now been ushered away from the front of the crowd by their organisers. It's like they know he's taking drugs, and they know that we was trying to get him nabbed, and they've now got him out of the picture. But what I'm getting at is the police aren't bothered. All they're bothered about is parents turning up, concerned about the kids, nephews, nieces, etc. That's all I've got to say.
That's
really.
fantastic. Thanks very much.
Nice one.
Cheers.
Keep it safe.
About the policing?
Yeah. So you were saying about the police facing us and not them.
I've been to a few of these protests now, and the police are always policing the right. It's never policing the left. I was in London for the protests a couple of weeks ago, and when we were there, the only thing we noticed is for us they had full riot gear, and none of us were were causing any grief.
Yeah.
But then when the left were there, they were policing them in standard uniforms. They weren't using any force. All of the force come back to the right-hand side of the argument. You know, it always does. It's the same as today when you're looking. There's not one time where I've seen the police focusing on the left, not even looking at their argument, even when they've been chanting the same. They're only focused on us because that's the way the press works. That's the story they need to sell.
Yeah.
In order to take over the country at the moment, that's what they need to sell. That is on one side. And that's it.
I thought they were going to let it kick off like at Mambas again. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't surprise me. They tried their hardest when we were in London. They tried their hardest.
Yeah.
They had multiple people doing, multiple officers coming into the crowd, compressing the crowd, when in reality they were surrounded by the same protest.
Yeah.
You know, but they'd come in 10, 15 officers with a couple of press people, and they'd push in, they'd condense the crowd, take a load of photos, take a load of videos, and then they'd pack up as it.
Yeah.
You know, so they're doing it for the media. They're doing it for the photo opportunity. You know, and at some point, these boys have got to start admitting what is happening to this country and being the people who stand up for it.
Yeah.
You know, they're watching it going to rack and ruin, and they're supposed to be the people we fall on to save us when we need them. These are the people we're supposed to rely on to protect us. And all they do is push us into the far right and call us racist, call us Nazis. They do this where they're gonna do it again now. They're gonna start compressing the crowd down.
Yeah.
And again, this is what they're looking for. They're looking for a response.
Yeah.
You
Problem
know,
solution.
he's got police response on there. I'm not surprised if that means they're looking for a response out of the people they're trying to corral.
Yeah. So problem, solution, reaction.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that there's just as many of us over there as there is over here, and yet they're still going to try to compress us down. Like them people aren't there.
Yeah.
You know, they're stood right there. You can see them.
Yeah.
But they're going to corral us down. Like now, they're going to try and force it down, and push the issue.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to try and they always do try and instigate something to get a reaction.